Well, let me ask you this. I mean, because you've done some things in your career, you've run and still run, I believe, a consulting firm helping businesses, so on and so forth. What led to you founding the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce?
So the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce is sort of an extension of what I was doing with my consulting firm. So with Khan Consulting LLC, which is a small consulting firm in Middletown, Delaware, that's where I got started out of my home. Is basically a firm that helps small businesses, including nonprofits and for-profits, with access to resources,
Mm,
anything from writing business plans, creating strategic plans. Grant writing was one of my
mhm.
most popular services. And I also teach grant writing part time at Del Tech for the past seven
Oh,
years.
wow. Okay.
So the chamber is sort of an extension of that, just being involved with other chambers, sitting on the board of one of our local chambers, just experiencing what a chamber can do for business and help you leverage your business firsthand. But not everyone has that same experience. So I wanted to create a safe space that was all inclusively for Black entrepreneurs because they have been overlooked for quite some time. And the
Mm,
pandemic kind of highlighted that. So we were birthed in the pandemic to really stop the bleeding for those businesses that were having major challenges.
yeah. And, that's a good segue to the question I was going to ask, which is, what is the problem you're trying to solve? And I think you just hit on something critical. It was already an issue, but probably got exacerbated during the pandemic. If you would, just to give some context, what are some of the challenges that Black businesses and entrepreneurs have been facing?
So Black businesses, they are busy working in their business and they don't always have the time and the resources to work on their business. So the pandemic showed us that we need to really have our back office in order because it was an exercise in documentation. If you
Yeah.
didn't have the correct documents, you didn't qualify for pandemic relief. You didn't qualify for the bailouts provided by the federal government. So I think that's one of the major issues. They're super innovative,
Mm,
working hard, doing amazing things in their communities, but they're wearing both hats, because you may find that it's onesie twosie situation
hmm.
where it's one individual running a company and is focused on bringing in revenue and not focusing on all the other things that it takes to run a business, like having the correct accounting software and keeping correct documentation. So having the correct licenses and permits
Hmm.
like that. So that was a major issue in the pandemic that was highlighted for these businesses.
Got it. Got it. In terms of the services you offer, I'd love to you maybe just talk through a few things you offer, and maybe also just juxtapose that a little bit against the Chamber of Commerce in the state, as well as the Economic Development Center, because I really want people to understand the various services that are available and how this fits as a part of that puzzle.
So the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce is here to serve the needs of small business. 78% of our membership is made up of those small and micro businesses. So we're here to
Mm,
provide economic opportunity and support to that demographic and to the communities that they serve.
hmm.
So we're here to ensure that there's a path that leads to steady resources that's beneficial for all businesses, and we do that helping them build relationships, partnerships, apprenticeships. So that's our main mission, is really to help foster an enterprise that focuses on their viability.
Mm, that's good. That's good. I know one of the things you also focus on is business development training and education. Can you speak to that just a little bit?
Yeah, we really strive to provide education and training to these businesses to help them with the ever-changing requirements,
Yes.
right, of running a business. So we do everything for how to read financial statements, how to use QuickBooks.
Mm,
Right now, this month, we have the Power of Capital being facilitated by our partners at Chase Bank. So the education doesn't stop; it's ongoing, and it really takes a community and a village to continue to provide that education because they're established entrepreneurs and community partners in our community that can teach these businesses and help them strengthen and have better resources for them to grow.
Hmm.
So that is our main focus. This is why we've grown, because we've made a big impact when it comes to that educational piece. Is super important because folks just don't know what they don't know, and
Yes.
we have a responsibility as leaders. If you have that information, you don't gatekeep, but you share it with others.
Yeah. That's good.